Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman, which is part of the Metal Rebirth thing. I guess it's not technically Rebirth, it's Dark Knight's Metal. I think they're all the same design. I don't know. They've gone nuts with all these different offshoots lately, and I haven't followed them all that much, but I'm pretty sure I know what this is. I think I do. You can let me know if I say anything that's wrong. I'm sure you will. It is the internet after all. However, the one thing that stands out to me, which makes me think I might be wrong or they screwed up. I'm leaning towards them screwing up because that would be better for me. Shouldn't the inside of his cape be purple? It should, right? One of the hints I have for that is that it's purple on the freaking artwork on the box again. Why don't they ever provide artwork that matches the figure on the boxes? And also all the other reference images I could find have a purple cape. Anyway, this figure is actually probably, maybe the best normal looking Batman figure that they've released. So there's some good stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 7 3/8 inches, not counting the Batman ear thingies, which makes him pretty close to, let's say, 18.6 centimeters. Thereabout. Alright, and here we go. Time for a question of the day. I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm not sure. How do you guys feel? Let me just word it as a question more directly. Do you prefer the comic book heroes to have suits that are the traditional smooth look? Or do you guys like panels like this? It's not the canvas look that the MCU has, even though it pretty much is. So do you guys like the panels or do you not? I am personally a fan of the techier looking, those are air quotes by the way in case you can't tell what I'm doing, techier looking suits that we've seen in modern comics. Most of the new 52 guys had some sort of panels like that, or guys, redesigns. You can let me know, do you like the plain suits or do you like this more advanced looking stuff? Okay, on to the review. Aesthetically speaking, probably the best looking Batman figure they've released that is of the more traditional looking Batman designs. Of course, we've seen some pretty cool stuff from them, but this is along the lines of a normal Batman, so that's why I'm separating it out. That being said, it does have a bit of an odd look to it because they made the torso very small relative to the rest of the figure. His arms and legs are relatively within proportion to each other, but relative to the body, they are a bit long and a bit meaty. They just popped out the chest a little bit, extended this just a little bit. Just a touch, it would probably tie it all together. That being said, I think this is perfectly acceptable. I don't think most people will notice. I've had some people tell me he's got really long legs or really long arms. They're just picking up on the fact that the torso is fairly small. Like if you look at his thigh, it's almost the same length as the torso, give or take. But from the side, it looks much, much better because he does have that right amount of meat, some thickness to the front and back, which we don't see in a lot of figures these days, so that's pretty cool. I will say, I'm not sure if these are supposed to be as tubular as they are. I don't know if I could find any images or not on that. If I did, you'll see them. If I didn't, then, well, I don't know. But that also throws off the look a little bit when you don't have that forearm shape to give your eye something to look at for the arm. It just looks like a big cardboard tube. That throws off proportions a lot. But all in all, it's a pretty good looking figure, I'll say. The windswept cape, they did a good job sculpting it. I'm generally not a fan of windswept capes because that really limits what you can do with the figure. But they did a good job sculpting it, except you have a whole lot more cape here and a whole little bit of cape here. This part should be out a lot more to make it even. Like to me, it looks like he's just missing a chunk of cape. Cause see, there you go. There's the cape shape. And I guess it is all tattered, so you could argue that it's just torn, but we still have the bat curvies down here, so it's not torn. Anyway, it's still pretty well sculpted. And we have a lot of nice sculpt work throughout the torso and whatnot. The textured bits look pretty good. No issues there. We have the textured booties. We do have the torn parts. I'm not sure why it's gray underneath. He's like, even under his suit, Batman wears a suit. No, I'm just kidding, kind of. But yeah, it looks pretty good. The head, yeah, I know, it's probably one of the better heads they've done too. It's got the right profile for this look. He's supposed to have that. Not my cup of tea, but it's fine. I don't mind it. It's all right. Yeah, I wish he had a little bit more upper head, but like a little thickness there. But it's still pretty good. The mouth is well sculpted, it's well painted. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think the biggest downside on this guy is the yellow they used is very lemony. I think it should have a little bit less of that lemon color to it, and a little more of a traditional yellow. Is there a good example? Yeah, not really. Can't tell in there. It's a little bright, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I think it's fine. The gray paint on here is good enough. Yeah, it's all right. I'll give this one an 8. I'm feeling generous. I'll give them an 8 for this. It's mostly in the right direction, so good for them. As far as accessories go, we'll start with what's in the package, because it's going to stay there. We have the trading card, which is included, and you can't get it out of the package without making the package look like crap. It's the same images right here. If you really wanted to, you could just cut this out. I don't know why they're including 2, essentially. It's kind of weird. Also, purple cape. Okay, and then we also have the black display stand down there. I hate those things. If you like them, you get them. And then we get his 2 little axes, which are pretty nicely done. So that's fine. No alternate hands, but if you're going to have him hold the axes, that's okay. He does technically have trigger finger hands. That kind of sucks. 6 out of 10 for the accessories. I don't like that. I don't like trigger finger hands to hold axes, and I don't like no alternate hands. But at least he does have 2 accessories to hold, so that's reasonable, but it doesn't mean he gets a high score. Okay, on to the articulation. The head, as you might guess, is very limited, because we only get bottom neck articulation, nothing at the top. So you can lean his neck, which looks a little weird, but you'll probably be able to adjust it to make it look good in your photos. Like, that's okay right there. But it's a lot more limited than it could be. Looking up doesn't really look good. Looking down is okay. I'd put it somewhere in the middle and just kind of... He's got a really big neck. The way they did that, I think the big neck is kind of throwing off the shape of the head a little bit. It's a very weird choice to do it the way they did it. I don't like that personally. I guess some people might not care, but they could have made that look a lot better. He's got a really big neck and a tiny upper head. His whole head is cone-shaped. That's what's throwing me off. I just noticed that. Don't like it. It's not terrible, but I don't like it. I like that the cape is sculpted over the shoulders. Let's see how it affects the posability. First of all, we have that ball peg that lets the whole arm move around. This one's better than most. Again, I'm not sure it's enough range to be worth the budget, but hey, it's there. It doesn't hurt anything other than potential budget. Shoulders are sculpted with really intense anatomy. Like, it looks weird. It looks pretty weird, but they're mostly hidden. Let's see about the range. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all, is it? That's good range. I like that range. I don't like the sculpt. It looks very weird because they're so spherical and have very heavy muscle striations. Very weird looking. Yeah, okay, I like the shoulder range though. That's good. I like that. All right, bicep swivel is good. Double jointed elbow, definitely an ugly ass elbow, but it functions. So, good God, what did they do? What did they do to your poor elbows? What is that? I just noticed that. Not only is there a big cavity, but they made the joint itself all lumpy. Ugh, is that the ratchet that they put into the... Oh, ugh, I don't like that at all. That's terrible. That's one of the ugliest elbows we've seen. Oh, well, moving on. Wrists have a ball hinge, it looks like, but you can't use it because his noodle tube covers are... that's definitely what they're called, noodle tubes. Yeah, the wrists don't have very much range at all, even though they have ball hinges because of the gauntlets that are on here. It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. All right, for the torso, let's see how they handled the torso. Let me zoom out so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Leans back and to the side really well. Will it go forward? Son of a bitch. They never go forward. What the heck, McFarlane toys? Why can't they go forward? I know they can. I've done it myself. I've made many things that can go forward. This cannot go forward. That's not good. Single ball peg down here gives you another bit of extra range. Look at that. He's got such good range going to the sides. Action. And then it goes back pretty well, but then going forward, it sucks. Like, come on, man. Rotation is fine. So that's good, but that limitation is definitely a limitation. All right, legs going out to the side. That's enough. You could get more. Oh, wow, it's starting to split. Be careful, apparently. Look at that. It's starting to split, and I just barely moved it. That was the first time I did it, and it split. And I wasn't even forcing anything. Not promising for going forward. Oh, no. In order to go forward, they have to go all the way out to the side like that. Stop zooming in if you can't zoom out. So the range there is just really bad. You can't bring the legs forward. Batman's not going to be kicking very much at all, or doing much of anything. Thigh swivel, tiny bit, almost none. Double jointed knee, pretty much your standard Marvel Legends looking knee, so that's pretty good for them, but having the limited hips is gonna be kind of a problem for the knees. So knees are fine, but leg articulation overall is pretty limited. Ankles, hey look, they actually sculpted the ankle to make it functional. Although, what happened there? Oh man. Oh, come on, zoom in, capture that. Oh my goodness. So they made a cavity there to fit the ball joint in so that you could get that extra range. But it's at the very back of the foot, and it's not the same shape as the ball joint or the ball hinge. So when you go to rotate it, it's like, nah, I don't want it. I can't do it. That's so bad. What are they doing? It doesn't fit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's actually funny to me. Oh, that ball hinge is just in there like I don't belong here. This is uncomfortable. So the foot can't go forward at all. It goes back okay. If you rotate it around, you can get an ankle rocker out of it, but it doesn't feel good. And you get your toe hinge, which isn't floppy on this one, but it is too far back. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, guys. As usual, it's like here's a bunch of good stuff, and then here's the bad stuff to drive it home. Articulation on this guy is going to get a 7. That's it. That ankle right there just ruined it for me. What the heck? And the neck and the hips. 7's generous now that I think about it. I was like, that torso is not too bad other than it can't lean forward, but it can't lean forward. And the hips suck. The ankles are messed up. The neck sucks. 7's very generous. Okay, time for the final verdict on this guy. I just want to keep laughing at that ankle. How did that happen? That poor ankle. Oh man. Well, this is like basically a new 52 slightly battle damaged Batman. If you really wanted one, you could get this, and it's close enough. It has the weird helmet and the weird gauntlets, but it's pretty close. Doesn't have the purple cape. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 7 again. I can't get higher than a 7 so far on these figures. I might have done it for Merciless. I don't remember. They just keep setting themselves back. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. They got to 7 and stopped. I don't know what's happening. I guess you wouldn't get to 7 using that math. Maybe every once in a while they would only take 1 step back. Yeah, something like that. You get what I'm saying. 7. It's a 7. There's too many problems once again. Like, they're so close to being really good figures, but then for some reason they just don't do it. It's so weird. Also, why are the peg holes on the joints so freaking big on the outside? You don't need them to be huge on both parts. Make it big on the inside, little on the outside. That's only like 20-year-old technology. More than that, 30 at this point. That's, well, yeah, 30. 90s. Huh. Anyway, alright, there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, because I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.